What's going on, people? Welcome back. OnlyFacts Sports, episode 12. You okay there?
Bro, man got me sitting on... Go on. Pause.
So, man, I can't take them nowhere. Episode 12, we're back. Do you know what I'm saying? Another big week of topics, another big week of boxing. You might have seen we were live for the Caleb Plant fight. That was a madness.
Can I just say something? Because a lot of you lot are new. And last week we done a video that offended a lot of people. And obviously you've been reached out to and everything.
I wasn't going to say that.
And a lot of people were offended. And I just want to say to the bottom of our heart at OnlyFacts, we don't give a fuck, fam. We don't give a crap, blood.
The thing is, it's not a we don't give a crap, yeah. It's that we give our opinions and then we stand on our opinions.
Facts.
So it should probably be called only opinions more than only facts, but some only opinions and some facts. Really. But do you know what I mean? It's just it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man. Shout out to Gary Lineker and free all oppressed peoples.
Yeah, free all the oppressed people.
All oppressed people.
All the people that are being silenced. All the people that don't have a voice.
Shout out Gary Lineker too.
Yeah, shout out to Gary Lineker, bro.
We've got big boxing this week.
Yeah, which we're live for all the fights, by the way.
Live for all the fights. We're going to be live on Saturday evening UK time for Wardley. Then they're going to be live again a few hours later. I'm probably going to have a little snack, have a little pizza or something. Go live a couple hours later for Keyshawn Davis, New York time. And then the following day, midday, I'm going to be live.
Same day.
The same day. Then Sunday, midday, I'm going to be live again for Jai Opetaia. So a lot of boxing. A lot of boxing overtime. Yeah, man's not getting paid enough for this, but it is what it is, man. It Shane's the boss.
You all know that's not true.
What do you mean?
You all know that's not true.
Why?
That who's the boss is?
Yeah.
You're the boss, bro.
You only say that because if things go wrong, I get the phone call. That's the only reason you say that. Yeah,
that's right, because people know you're the boss. I didn't get the phone call. This is
why I get paid the big money.
Exactly.
This is why I get paid the big money.
Because you do the big work.
You know what I mean? But talks about Wardley versus Justis Huni. Let's start there because this is a big fight for the UK. The UK's got two up and coming heavyweights. Well, Wardley's pretty much there with age and stuff like that. Atoma is the next up and coming heavyweight. You know, arguments about whether they're on a collision course or not. You feel like probably not because they're both with Frank. But
I think they are eventually, but not immediately.
This Justis Huni fight, though, I've heard some talk that this is more dangerous than Jarrell Miller.
Well, it's always going to be more dangerous because it's a last minute.
It's a later, but yeah.
So,
and as British boxing fans, we're still a little bit mentally and emotionally scarred from Jarrell Miller's last late replacement against AJ, which shook up everything.
Exactly, and it's one of those ones where if it's almost similar because...
Well, there's no belts.
No, but similar in the sense that when AJ was doing it, it was his first headline in America. He's going over there, trying to make his name in America. They say if you make it in America, you can make it anywhere.
Especially New York.
Exactly. With Wardley, he's always been on the undercard. He's always been on somebody else's
first main
show.
event.
He's in Ipswich, hometown, first main event. And we know Wardley. Not only is he light-skinned, and light-skinned people have this tendency where, like, they're just emotional naturally. But generally speaking, he's also a person who's, like, all jokes aside, he's a guy who likes to entertain. Like, one thing you can't say when you watch a Wardley fight is that he's boring.
But he's a knockout puncher, right? He's not a technician. Facts. So when you say he likes to entertain, he ain't really got a choice. What choice he got?
You could say that about AJ. You can say that about AJ in the sense that
AJ's got more skills.
Yeah, of course he does.
AJ can box on the outside for 12 rounds.
Of course.
Wardley cannot box on the outside for 12 rounds.
No, probably not. Probably not. Definitely not Huni, because Huni's well scored. He's undefeated. He's got the amateur background. But this is nothing new for Wardley. I can see it being a hard fight in terms of like boxing and, as you said, technique-wise, he's sometimes ungainly, quite awkward to look at. Pause. But his style isn't like he gets the job done entertainingly, but not by the book.
Yeah, and also like we're saying that Huni's got the amateur background, all the rest of it. We said the same thing about Fraser Clark.
Exactly, it's nothing new, and it could be a situation where Wardley just knocks him out in the first round.
Yeah.
Because he does have that power. It's heavyweight boxing. And Huni hasn't been in there with someone of that power, that ferocity. And let's not get it twisted. Fabio Wardley is game. Like this guy.
He's British.
No, but AJ's British. Like
AJ's Nigerian. When I saw AJ running, I knew he was Nigerian. He was no longer British.
Fair.
British man disassociated from him.
Facts.
They said, "No, you're not British no more."
Yeah, I hear what you mean.
Give us back that passport.
Trust me, man went from AJ to Femi.
Quick. Yeah, 100%, 100%.
But like we know, maybe because both his parents are Nigerian, we know Wardley takes off the white side when it comes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's proper British. Yeah,
he's game, bro. Like he is game. Like he's an Ipswich fan.
Yeah,
he's game. And what that means is he is going to, bro. If it lasts 12 rounds, it's gonna be Justin Huni's hardest fight that he's ever had.
Yeah.
Is it like regardless? Because from round 1 to round 12, it's gonna be straight action.
Is Jarrell Miller a harder fight than Huni? Forget about the fact of late replacement. Like, what's Huni gonna bring?
No.
That's what I'm thinking. No. That's what I'm thinking. Like, what's Huni gonna bring? That's gonna make it more.
He's gonna try and box, but the thing is, what Miller would have made Wardley have to do is fight in reverse.
Yeah.
What Huni's gonna have to do is make Wardley have to
find him. Yeah.
But he has to do that anyway. Yeah. Whoever he fights, that's what he had to do. He had to do it when he fought Fraser Clark. There is nothing in.
That's why I think Huni obviously the late replacement thing is difficult, but I think Huni's actually an easier fight stylistically. Yeah. Because it's more similar to what he's fought before. 100%. And where he's had success before. 100%. Who has he fought that's been bigger and stronger than him as a man that stood up in front of him and walked him down?
Facts. He would have to show a completely different, set of skills.
Did you see what Anthony Joshua said about Big Pharmacy Miller?
No, what did he say?
He said to, I think it was IFL, he said, what have you heard about why Miller pulled out? And they said, we heard it was an injury. And AJ said, oh, is that what you heard, yeah? Okay, cool. He's like, yeah, well, I could probably do you lot's job better than yours. Do you know what I'm saying? Alluding to the idea that AJ has some inside information, allegedly.
But it's AJ. Sometimes AJ chats shit, blood.
But I wouldn't,
because it's Miller. Because it's Miller,
yeah.
It could be. But the only thing is, Miller's not signed to anyone. So there will be no reason to protect his image. You know what I'm saying? If it was that, what's the pain? What's hard in Frank? Because Frank would have been notified by either UCAD or VADA.
Unless they just want to use him again.
Potentially, but I don't...
Remember, Eddie said he'll never use him again, but then he did.
Yeah, facts.
Later, or tried to.
I mean...
Did he use him again?
He did. He worked on a show that Eddie was on.
Yeah.
It wasn't really direct.
Yeah.
But obviously, Eddie worked on the show that when he fought Andy Ruiz, and he worked on the show that he fought Dubois. Obviously, it wasn't his show.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He hasn't put him up against his fighters. Let's talk about Eddie as well. Eddie throwing one of his heavyweights, one of his kind of heavyweight prospects in against a dangerous opponent.
I feel like a couple of weeks, maybe a month ago, you spoke about how he's not invested in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
And I feel like the fact that Johnny Fisher and Huni were his biggest names in the heavyweight showed me that it was like he don't care. Yeah. Like it's a big opportunity for Huni and he's probably making good commission. This is probably just a business transaction. I can't imagine there's going to be... If Huni wins, amazing.
And Huni being so far down where he's from, he's probably not got a super close relationship with Eddie, like a fighter that's, unless you're Sky Nicholson or someone, you're probably not going to have a super close relationship with Eddie. No, because they live far.
But Sky Nicholson is far.
It's different though, isn't it?
Right.
It's more talented. I heard she's got a great personality and a great set of skills.
Boy.
So, unless you're Derek Chisora.
Derek Chisora, innit?
Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was a bit crazy.
Trust me.
This win, what does it do for Wardley? Because that's the only thing I feel like.
That's a good question.
If Wardley wins this fight, I feel like he's in the same place.
100%.
Because I don't know that Justis Huni is a bigger name than Clark.
That is 1,000,000% the question. Because for me, it's like, we know the inevitable thing is, if Usyk wins, majority of those belts are going to become vacant. Usyk ain't going to care about belts. He is going to be one of the few fighters right in line for a world title fight. So fighting for a world title is already in his
immediate view.
Maybe if not the next fight, the next 2 fights, definitely within his next 3 fights if he wins.
There's a world where will Dubois get a shot at a vacant even if he loses against Usyk?
I don't think so.
Okay, because if he did, there's a world where
he's not ranked in any governing body, and if he loses the belt, then he doesn't get an immediate fight.
Fine, because I was going to say there's a world where Wardley gets a shot for a vacant, Itoma could maybe push for a shot for a vacant. Then I thought if Dubois did as well.
No, but I feel like when you bring it back to why it benefits Wardley is the fact that I feel like because they know the world title fight's there, it's about building his commercial value. That's why Jarrell Miller was such a good opponent when he was.
Yeah.
Huni doesn't do that for you.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like unless Fabio Wardley fought like a Chisora or fought like a...
That's the name I thought of.
You can't fight Dylan White because Dylan White's his manager.
Yeah.
But unless he fought someone who...
with some name recognition.
So you will win because we ain't trying to risk the world title fight, but you got some name recognition.
Yeah.
Like a Dave Allen.
Yeah.
You're going to win the fight, but your name...
I think it needs to be a little bit more than Dave Allen, but I get you.
You get what I'm saying? So Huni isn't that guy though.
Yeah.
Miller would have been that guy. You know, Derek Chisora.
And getting someone who's a villain is great for that. Just to get, because you want the fans, but you're building a profile, but you also want the fans behind you. Do you mean? You don't want to go, you go and fight, I don't know. Dave Allen might work against you because so many people love him.
Yeah, facts.
Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, we'll be live for that fight. We will definitely be live for that fight. In terms of what's next, we spoke about what's next for Wardley. What's next for Jai Opetaia when we can almost say inevitably
he's
wins.
Going to win the fight.
When he inevitably wins, he's at the least glamorous division, famously in boxing.
Can I be honest? I would say
always be honest,
and I'm going to say this only facts. I'm going to say this with 3 cameras and 2 microphones.
Okay.
Eddie Hearn has mismanaged Jai Opetaia.
Oof.
Eddie Hearn has mismanaged Jai Opetaia, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
For one, what are we doing? Why are we here with this fight? What are we doing, bro? He fought Bradis and won the world title.
Yeah.
He then rematched Bradis and won the world title.
Great fights as well.
Great fights. Bradis, bro. It's Bradis. All-time great cruiserweight. Or definitely in the top 5 all-time great cruiserweights. Where's the momentum gone? Stick a pin for a second, Shane. Move over. Oscar De La Hoya took a defeated Zerdo Ramirez, who just lost to Dimitri Bivol, brought him to cruiserweight. Joe Smith Jr. win. Then he won 2 belts back-to-back, one of them being against Chris Billum-Smith. Please tell me how Zerdo's had 3 fights or 4 fights at cruiserweight. He's about to fight Dorticos, and he's fighting at a better level and fighting better opposition than Jai. Jai's a Ring magazine. Jai beat the man of the division. Why is he getting opportunities that Jai Opetaia hasn't? For me, that has to be mismanagement.
Is it one of those things that is it lack of fan pressure? Because we know that when a promoter gets a fighter to a certain level, if there's no pressure for him to go, look at Tank. If you're not pressured to go and take these risky fights and go and take the big names, why do it? If you're going to get paid, I'm putting a number out my ass, but if you're going to go get paid 10 million to fight whoever, why would you go and take the real dangerous fights? What does that do for you?
This is why, because I saw Jai Opetaia with Terence Crawford the other day. Terence Crawford was in Australia, and he was like, oh yeah, future undisputed champion. He's saying undisputed champion with the future undisputed champion. I'm like, bro, there's nothing that I've seen in the last 3 fights that show me that you want to be undisputed, bro. Yeah. Zerdo's come to the division and picked up 2 belts in 3 fights. Bro, there's nothing to me that should be you, bro. Yeah. That should have been you. That should be you saying, no, this is the fights that I want. This is what we're gonna make. And I feel like when you...
And if he goes and fights Zerdo, then...
No, but we're not hearing that fight happening, are we?
Yeah. This is where it comes to fan pressure. This is where we rely on boxing fans, in my opinion, to then start putting pressure on the Eddies and the Oscars. Hence the reason why I'm having this conversation, because we watch boxing. We follow multiple boxing channels. Who has said that? We hear Jai Opetaia so talented, but where has anybody said, Eddie Hearn, you've mismanaged him? It's a good point, actually, because I'll tell you what, we've got a new show that we've got coming out called Hot Takes, and one of my hot takes would have been, now you're saying it, that I think that knockouts can cover up a lot of deficiencies from a boxer's career.
Of course.
Not just technical deficiencies in their ability, but even opponents and all the rest of it.
So long as such a great
knockout artist.
Such a great comparison, though,
Yeah.
in the fact that he's had one belt for so long, pretty much just held it hostage, and just, as long as he's getting knockouts, people don't care who he's fighting.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Tyson, in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people didn't really care.
Yeah.
You think about someone
they didn't turn up to watch a boxing match. They turned up to watch Tyson knock someone over.
Competition.
Yeah.
You know
So they're just happy to see Mike Tyson knock someone over, and then so long as they see that, they're pretty happy.
Wilder was the same.
Yeah.
Like, for me, at some stage, the difference between where you see a Usyk, where you see a Crawford, well, Crawford's maybe a Dimitri Bivol, they might not always get a knockout, but they're going to fight the Floyd. They're going to fight the best available opponent.
Yeah.
And that's the spectacle.
That's why Canelo is insane, because he does the same thing, but he don't even knock anyone out anymore.
In fact.
People just turn up to watch him walk around, plod around, do you know what I mean? So but yeah, I think that Jai Opetaia's knockouts are maybe masking a little bit of that. So 100%. How long do you give him before we start seeing talk of him versus Zerdo?
I'm questioning it now.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm already... The reason why is because we don't have a big platform, but we have to speak about what we see.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe it won't make a difference. But I feel like if I voice it, or if we voice it, and people then see what I'm talking about, maybe it might... Because I'm like, there is a clear sign of mismanagement. The other day, bro, I saw flipping Eddie Hearn offer Jai Opetaia to fight. What's that big black guy that manages flipping... Eubank. Napa. He was offering Jai Opetaia to fight one.
Does he want to move Jai Opetaia to heavyweight? Is that his thought process?
I genuinely don't know.
Because he's not going to be undisputed champion at heavyweight. The only way he's going to be undisputed champion has to be cruiserweight.
100. Like, if I'm not seeing Zerdo in his next fight, I know Zerdo's fighting Dorticos, which is again another good fight, bro. And he's on a big card. I think he's on the Jake Paul card.
Jai Opetaia, actually, I feel like this is what happens sometimes when fighters come from smaller markets. He's a headliner where he's from, but then it's difficult to get eyes on him because he's going to want to be a headliner. So when you go to Saudi, you might have to be on an undercard, and we might have to package you up with a Wardley Miller.
He fought on the undercard, didn't he? In Saudi.
Yeah.
He fought on the undercard in Saudi.
Yeah, we're going to have to do that to build your profile. But send a message to Jai Opetaia. Send a message directly to Jai Opetaia.
Your next fight, or your fight after, if it's not a world title fight, or if it's not for you some form of unification, like Baddy Jack's winning has got a world title at cruiserweight. You know, this is the world we're living in, bro. If your next fight is not a world title fight, bro, I'm gonna start. In fact, I'm not gonna start. You're gonna start receiving criticism, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna start receiving. Oh, fire Eddie. Eddie, you are not good enough for me.
But you should be putting pressure on him.
Facts,
you should be, when we're not seeing you put no pressure
100.
on.
It's not even like it's a promotional issue.
Yeah.
Baddy Jack's with the Saudis, Zerdo's with Oscar, who's with DAZN, and you're with DAZN. This should not even be a network problem. This should be 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It's easy, bro.
Yeah.
If you're not doing it.
And also, if you're Jai Opetaia and you're the guy at cruiserweight, and we think that you're the guy at cruiserweight, I like Jai Opetaia a lot, but you should be knocking out Baddy Jack.
Oh, come on, bro.
You should be knocking out a 47-year-old Baddy Jack, however old he is.
If I'm Jai Opetaia, Nick, and Baddy Jack's a world champion,
yeah.
Bro, I'm saying, give me no money. Give me no money. Let me fight this dude, bro. Give me no money.
Baddy Jack's 41.
Like, I'll be saying, Eddie, if you this week, Raymond Ford went, and this is why I have to. Raymond Ford said, bro, Eddie's not giving. Even though he's signed by Eddie, he was criticizing Eddie for not giving him the Sugar Nunes fight.
Yeah.
Because you're now holding my career back.
Yeah.
I want a world title fight. Give me that fight. That's what I want to see from you, Jai. If not, you got to fire this dude, bro. That's how it works. It's business.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. You got to invest in yourself, and you've got to believe it. And we're not seeing that.
Facts.
That belief. Do you know what I mean? Are you just comfortable? You're at where you're at. You come off the 2 very difficult Breeders fights, and you just go, you know what? I'll just clean up some easy work, hold this belt hostage, and then, do you know what I mean? And a lot of people live like that. That's a lot of people's careers. Not everybody wants to go to that. You know, it's the silk pajamas thing, isn't it?
Facts,
do you know what I'm saying? And he's definitely in silk pajamas right now. Boy. Do you know what I mean? So
maybe it's
because he's a big star where he's from.
Yeah, facts.
Down there, he's probably a very, very big. Obviously, we're not down there. We're in London. in London, to come here and be a big star is different. But to be where you're from in a smaller market, he's probably on all types of commercials out there. He's probably making enough bread.
Look at Cambosis is making paper. He ain't got half the talent of Jai. 100%. You know what I'm saying? He was making paper. He was telling Richardson that you see the face off.
Yeah.
That was funny. The man's like, bro, you ain't made half the money I've made.
100%. It's true though.
What's your biggest payday? This Richards. You
100%. But the thing is, that's the thing. Like, you come from a smaller market. You look at Manny. Manny went and become the president. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you come from a smaller market, you can go and dominate that market. You know what I mean? But you know, if you're like a talented black fighter in America, so what? We've got hundreds of you. We're a factory of you, man. You man ain't gonna be mega. It's gonna be tough for you to cut through as a superstar. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe there's a bit of that, but I do like Jai Opetaia. He's a great fighter. And the frustration
that's why I'm blaming Eddie now.
The frustration we have, the reason that we have this frustration is because we believe that you can do it.
Bro, the glasses thing, fam.
You saying, man, look like Professor X or something.
Fam, you look like flipping the black version of, what's Sharon Osbourne's husband?
Oh, Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, he's lit. He bit a bat's head off on stage once, live. Yeah, he's a madman, bro. Yo. He's on Budge.
Looking like, what's my man's name? John Lennon.
I like John Lennon. I like John Lennon a lot. On to my guy, my brother. Keyshawn Davis.
He's fighting Santos, De Los Santos. Now, you know why this is so interesting? Because Shakur fought him.
Yep.
And that was, for those who don't know, the historic most... I think that fight had recorded until Devin Haney broke it, then Canelo broke it the day after. The least amount of punches thrown and landed in a fight.
Was that the Saudi fight that he fought?
No,
that was Padley.
That was the fight he fought before Padley. De Los Santos before the way that was. I don't think we went live for it, but we covered it the week.
Yeah.
And, bruv, if Keyshawn goes out and knocks De Los Santos out,
which I think that he will.
He will. For me, I ain't trying to hear none of this crap. I'm not trying to hear none
of it now.
I'm not trying to hear this. Shakur's my brother. No, I ain't trying to hear none of that. You're in the same division, bro. Either one, you lot got to leave the division, or you lot got to fight each other, bro. Because for me, Shakur's always seen Keyshawn, that's my little brother. That's my little brother. Bro, nah, bro. Forget that.
He's surpassing you.
Huh?
If they start having mutual opponents that Keyshawn's knocking out, and you're not even surpassing you.
You're always, for me, Keyshawn Davis is in Shakur Stevenson's shadow. But when you look at who he's fought, he's fighting better opposition than you.
Yeah.
Keyshawn
and putting on better
performances, bro. Like, he's literally putting on better performances. Of recent, bro, look at what this guy's doing, bro. And I expect him to deal with De Los Santos in good fashion.
Yeah.
You put on flipping, what do they call it? Nike commercial when we watch your fight, blood.
The thing is, it's the not throwing punches. Do you know what I mean? We're going to have a conversation later about Devin Haney moving, what counts as moving, what counts as running, whatever. But not throwing punches. So there's a big difference between moving around the ring and throwing punches. We just saw Caleb Plant dancing around the ring and not throwing no punches. And you got pieced up by Resendez. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones like, you know, the performances you're putting on, there's no point constantly saying you're talented. It's like Balassi or someone like. It's like a player that everyone says in football is unbelievable in training. Ravel Morrison, unbelievable in training. But boxing isn't training. Football matches are not training. Can you do it in the game?
Fact.
Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. And so we know that you're talented, but unfortunately that's not the way life goes. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just not the way that life goes. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to do a lot more to, you know, you might have better boxing knowledge than a lot of other people that's on YouTube. But if you're not consistently posting videos and sharing your knowledge, who cares? What would you want anyone to do about that? Do you know what I mean? Though when you do share your knowledge, man get upset. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things. So for me, I've not been the biggest Shakur Stevenson fan for a long time. And it's because of things like this. And I'm seeing new people come into the division and start to outperform you. I'm not on it. I'm not on it for me.
I mean, Keyshawn Davis, like, he's very big for the weight. So if he beats De Los Santos, to be fair, he's going into the fight knowing that it's probably not going to be a hard fight to win, but it's going to be a hard fight to look good in.
Yeah.
And he's going to have the additional incentive that Shakur went the distance with him.
Yeah.
But if he does knock him out, you can't say, well, this guy went the distance with Shakur, because you can't disrespect Shakur. Do you know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's going to end up happening regardless. Like, it didn't happen to Klitschko's because they're genuine brothers. But this is it's going to naturally happen because people are going to start saying it to you. People are going to put it on you. Do you know what I'm saying? Shakur fought this guy and went 12 rounds. You knocked him out in 4 rounds. Like, what are you saying? Or literally, whatever the case may be. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. You know, I want to start seeing what's this fight at 135, 140, 135. I mean, I'm looking at the world champions at 135. Keyshawn, Shakur, and then you've got Davis and Lomachenko.
Well, Lomachenko's losing that belt and he's probably going to go to Murataya.
Yeah.
Who apparently, no, I don't know. I was going to say, I know he fought Tevin Farmer and lost, and he also fought Abdullayev and lost. But he's supposed to be fighting someone, but I don't think the fight's been announced, but it's irrelevant.
But yeah, and obviously you got Zepeda there as a interim, but yeah.
He's for interim for Shakur, isn't it?
Yeah.
So for me, like, Keyshawn Davis isn't going to get it. Whilst Shakur Stevenson in the same division, you ain't going to become undisputed. You're going to try and get the Tank fight. But in my mind, I think Tank's going to be more inclined to fight Shakur than Keyshawn.
Yeah, 100%.
So if that's the case, if let's say in an ideal world...
Keyshawn it was looking like a harder fight and less money.
If you're like... I honestly, I don't know what's next for Keyshawn at 35. I would literally just move up to 40. There's so much other guys at 40 that you can fight.
And there's no way you see him fighting Shakur.
Well, he said that's not happening. And Shakur said it's not happening.
But as Keyshawn builds his profile, it's going to look more and more, I'm not saying it is this, but it's going to look more and more like Shakur's a little bit scared or nervous.
But it's going to be even worse if Shakur fights Davis.
Yeah.
And let's say in Keyshawn's ideal world, Gervonta Davis beats...
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis loses to Shakur.
That's why all this shit about we're brothers and we're not going to fight is bullshit. Because you're not fighting him, that you're not having a boxing match against him, but you're preying on this nigga's downfall every step of the way.
Why do you say that?
Because if he's your brother and he goes to fight Tank, in your mind, you're hoping Tank wins. So what kind of brother is that?
Why would you think he would want Tank to win?
So that he can fight Tank and take those belts.
True.
Do you know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? True. If Keyshawn Davis sees Tank fighting Shakur and he thinks he can beat Tank, how much of his heart wants his own boy to lose?
Maybe he wants Shakur to win. But then it's pointless because then you're unambitious. Because you're not going to be unified, are you? Because you ain't going to fight Shakur.
You man share Gallon as well. You man share everything. What's going on here? What we doing?
We just like I genuinely don't understand. I don't understand. Like we need to see it. Like honestly, this whole brother talk. I ain't trying to hear that.
Especially if we get multiple opponents where you are outperforming. Shakur stopped Padley in 8, or 6 or something, 8 or 6. Imagine Keyshawn stops him in 3.
Or you go the distance with Zepeda and he knocks out Zepeda.
There you go. Do you know what I mean? Like if this happens 2 or 3 times, we can't just keep ignoring the fact that this brother's coming and outperforming you.
You can't.
What do you want us to do about this?
It's facts, bro. It's facts. Facts.
I would like to see them fight.
Me as well, bro. I ain't trying to hear that crap. I know people say, "Oh, but my mum is his." I'm close with his mum. I'm close with his.
There were men at the time trying to make the Klitschko brothers fight, bro, and they're actually brothers.
Bro, for people that don't know, Charlos, they've been had fights outside the ring, bro. Yeah. Their baby mothers. I was in Vegas when their baby mothers had a fight on the Vegas Strip, bro. I was there. I was literally there when Charlo's baby mothers had the
classic Charlo fashion. We had to go too far there. We've gone too. It was all lit up until then. Now we're getting into baby mothers fighting on the street.
It's happened though.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. And then we move on to Tank, who's one of the biggest disgraces in boxing. It's between him and Canelo for the two biggest disgraces.
No.
What?
Ryan Garcia, bro.
I mean, of like elite world champions, like Ryan Garcia's, he's a celebrity, but he's not an elite guy.
Yeah, hey.
Do you know what I mean? The fight's been announced for him and Roach.
Finally.
Which is positive. Finally.
Because
I backed Roach the first time.
One stage, you thought it was going to be a Jake Paul thing.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't know what was happening.
He was pump faking for a long time. And even that, like, you're the knockout guy. You're meant to be the knockout artist of these guys. Keyshawn Davis starting to come up as a bit of a knockout guy, but you've got Keyshawn Davis, Lomachenko. He's not really a big knockout puncher. And obviously he's kind of retiring anyway.
And
Shakur Stevenson. Zepeda's got, Zepeda can crack a bit, but he's not.
More about that work rate.
He's more about work rate. So you're the knockout guy, and you're fighting the world champion at 130.
He has to, though.
I know he has to now, but I'm saying, like, in terms of people coming into division that's lapping you, if Keyshawn Davis is lapping Shakur Stevenson, in my opinion, he may also start to lap Gervonta Davis at some point. These fights are going to be unavoidable.
One of the benefits, one of the benefits that worked for Tank in the Lamont Roach fight was the fact that because the fight was so competitive, now Lamont Roach looks like a good win on your resume.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? If he beats Lamont Roach now, it's looking much better than if he beat him the first time.
Do you think he does? Do you think that was an off night, or do you think?
I think two things can be right at the same time.
Yeah.
I feel like it was an off night, but I also do feel like Lamont Roach is a good fighter.
Yeah.
There was never a question of Lamont Roach being a good fighter in terms of his ability. He's just a smaller guy.
Yeah.
But one thing that I do think will work in Tank's favour is the fact that Lamont Roach has gained confidence from that. Whereas Lamont Roach was like, Lamont Roach might be going in there thinking, I can definitely win this fight. He probably was thinking that before, but there's a difference between thinking that and knowing that.
The only thing is, though, Lamont Roach is not going to be looking for a knockout against Davis. He's going to keep doing what he was doing before. Get in, get his work off, and get out again. He's going to respect his power. If you go in there, if you go and fight Lomachenko, and Lomachenko has an off night, it could be a wild night the next time you fight him because he's so good. But if you fight Wilder and Wilder has an off night, but you still execute your game plan, you can just keep executing that game plan because he's just going to look to hit you with that. He's just going to look to hit you with the money shot. And if he can't, we all think that Tank was lucky to get a draw in the first place.
Facts.
So I think that confidence should be able to work for Lamont Roach, so long as he is not a Devin Haney and his ego doesn't get in the way, and he's not going to go in and go, right, I'm so confident, I'm going to go and knock him out, I'm going to turn it into a fight. If he just goes in and does his work, unless we're saying that was the career best for Lamont Roach, which I don't know that it was.
Maybe
it was.
Good performance.
It was a good performance. But I feel like if he can continue to do that, if he goes in and fights if they go into round 13 and goes exactly the same way as last time, I favour Lamont Roach because I just don't see Davis being able to land that punch.
That's the question. I think the adjustments really have to come from Tank.
Yes.
Because Tank, for that whole fight, was looking for the money punch. He's now going to have to go in that fight and almost have a different approach, whereas I actually do have to win some rounds. Knockout's just not just going to come.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, it's going to be a much more competitive fight. I think the benefit that Tank also has is he got away with one. You're now, you now have to, because at that time we were talking about retirement, all of that. Whenever there's someone talking about retirement, you got 1 foot out. Hopefully that's rejuvenated him and he's got more confidence in himself. And
I doubt it.
You don't think so?
He's not a confident man.
No, he's not.
He's not a confident person in life. Obviously, he's rich, so he has the confidence. He has the artificial confidence that comes with having money and status and women and all these things as a man. But in terms of him, wanting to be the guy, but
he's a man. He's a man that when I hear him speak, because I like from a sports psychological perspective, he loves contingencies. So he loves putting things in place to give him extra security, like rehydration clauses, like saying, for example, if I am going to fight, it has to be I'm not fighting in Saudi. Or when he fought, when he said he was going to fight Devin Haney, he said, well, you have to pay me X amount of money because I know if it goes decision, it's going to go against me. So he likes to put certain things.
That's what I'm saying.
Place.
He's not even backing himself. He's not putting all his eggs into that one.
He's not a gambler.
Yeah.
And we know that by...
But it's not even just gambling. I'm not saying gambling. I'm saying in his heart, he doesn't have 100% belief that he's going to go and win this fight. That's when the fight is the best. You feel like Usyk has 100% belief that he beats Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois probably has 80 or 90% belief.
No, he probably has 100%. Do
you know what I mean? You think he has 100%?
Dubois,
because the way that he's been knocking people over.
Not even just that, he's not there, innit?
Yeah, I guess so. But then it's idiot confidence. It's not the same as real confidence. But when you have 100% confidence,
can sometimes be misunderstood as confidence.
But I'm talking about two fighters that are genuinely confident. Do you know what I'm saying? Tank just doesn't have that. He doesn't have it. He can crack real hard, but I'm not seeing you say, I want to go and unify a division. I want to go, do you know what I'm saying? Look at, Crawford, Usyk cleaning out these divisions, facts. Going seeking
Crawford
and destroying.
Going up and saying, I don't want no rehydration clause.
Yeah.
That's just out and out confidence.
Yeah, I think I'll beat you. I think I'm better than you. I think you're bigger than me, but I think I'm better than you. I think I'm more technical than you. I think I move better than you. I just think I'm better than you. Do you know what I'm saying? Tank doesn't look at Devin and think, I'm better than you. He thinks, you are better than me, but I can hit you hard. So there's a bit of that underlying Same as Shakur.
Yeah, he's a like, not only is he small in terms of
physical stature,
but he's a very, very small man.
Yeah.
In terms of his character. You know what I'm saying? Like, the reason why I say that is because Gervonta Davis is a very, like, I've seen him around people, and it's like, remember, he spent his whole entire boxing career under a very, very confident Floyd. And I've seen him at times almost need additional confidence from other people. Even when he might be doing something good. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have, like, natural self-belief. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, for example,
Floyd very much in the early part of his career. Yes, he can crack, but he kind of carried him.
Yeah, carried him. Like, he was quite shy. Like, if you look at someone like a Teo, Teo doesn't really need his dad.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He doesn't need anybody.
But you can see people that were big characters before the money.
Fact.
Before anything else, you know.
Like Adrian Broner.
Yeah.
Adrian Broner is a prime example.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't need... He's probably a big...
He was a big character before he was
rich.
Yeah, before he was rich, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Tank, Roach, I really hope that Roach wins. And do you feel like, you know, when Adam Catterall got robbed against...
Jack Catterall.
When Jack Catterall got robbed against Josh Taylor, he gained a lot of support.
Yeah.
Josh Taylor's kind of a fan favourite, but not like Tank is. Do you think that any of that... You got a better read on the kind of American audience than I do. Do you think any of that has happened? How much are people looking at this? Because Tank's got such a strong... Tank's got the added bonus that he's created a fan base of idiots.
The issue that you had, that's happened is Tank would have had that problem if Shakur looked good, if Devin Haney looked good, if his pairs looked good.
Yeah, he flopped when everyone else was flopping.
When Ryan Garcia flopped, when all of these men flopped, he flopped. So it was like, okay, he might have made a mistake, but he didn't make as much of a mistake as Ryan. Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he's still going to have a certain amount of people following. I do think his reputation took a hit. Don't ever get it twisted. But I think because Tank doesn't love boxing. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not like a Boots, who, Boots is in the gym, he's boxing, he's like, you probably only...
He loves boxing.
He loves boxing.
If Tank retired, how often would he hit the gym?
How often would you see him at boxing events? Yeah. Never. This guy would probably be doing hip-hop videos. Yeah. So people love Tank because he represents a culture. They don't love him because of his boxing personality. It's a bit like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was going clubs and then...
Punching up bouncers and all types of shit.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So people love the novelty,
what he represents more than him as an individual.
You know what I'm saying?
Because as soon as he went down, no one's helping him.
Literally. You can even to a certain degree say Ali. It was a different time. Like, people loved the political side of Ali, and what he done in the gym was just an additional extra.
Yeah.
Whereas Tank has almost built his foundation on ignorant black people and black people that...
There's no shortage of that in America.
Boy, the well will never run dry.
100%.
Trust me. So yeah, that's pretty much it, bro.
Yeah. Let's talk about your boy Showbiz.
He's not my boy. I don't actually know him. And I feel like we have to speak about why we're speaking about Showbiz.
Well, Showbiz, off the back of the Devin Haney, and this is what's jarring to me.
I'm so glad I know where you're going.
This was jarring to me, like, it's specifically come off the back of the Devin Haney performance that he's now coming up with this thing and trying to get signatures for it. I think it's on like 20,000 signatures, something, which is not massive for the boxing audience, right? But a rule of no running. He's trying to not trying to implement it, but I don't know if it's banter or he's actually trying to implement the rule.
Do you want to know my issue with Showbiz?
Go on, tell me.
I'm going to talk about the no running rule in a second.
Okay.
But my issue with Showbiz is this guy, for me, is... Although I'm going to use my words carefully. This guy...
Should have done that last week.
I don't give a crap about that. This guy is a very, very... He likes to entertain the elites, to put it the right way. Like, this guy he is so...
Oh, you're saying he's okay.
He's one of them. Like, yeah. He's a Samuel Jackson in Django, to me. Because let's just keep it real. Running in boxing has been happening. It's been happening, bro. However, Devin Haney is someone that he's outwardly criticised for years. And why he criticised Devin Haney, I don't know. That's his point. I don't know. But it was also off the back of when, who did Skull fought Canelo? And he loves Canelo. This guy's a Canelo suck off. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy will go...
His wife must be Mexican.
I was getting to that. I genuinely feel like he understands that black boxing fans aren't going to take you to the promised land.
Got you.
So I have to impress these Mexican boxing fans, and hopefully they don't think I'm one of these black people. I'm different. I'm a different black person. Yeah. I'm with you. That's the type of black person show. This is the type of man that, bro, he's a pantomime. This guy will wear flipping costumes watching a boxing match. Like, what black person do you know does that? Man's wearing costume to a boxing.
To be clear, I don't know anyone that does that. It's not even a race thing. It's just no one.
Yeah, no one does that.
No one does.
But you can tell
apart from Oscar, he's probably wearing some lingerie under his suit.
But he's Mexican, is he not? Like, this is a man, yeah, and this is why I'm like, it's the timing of it why I don't like it. Firstly, the rule of no running is so annoying because some of the things he was saying to put a petition in for is making smaller rings. Bro, one of the greatest things about boxing is being able to cut off the ring. Why are we not focusing on the lack of ability of cutting off the ring?
I've got a friend of mine, Lex. Lex is a professional basketball coach. And he always complains about the same thing. You know when you've got a friend that's got a catchphrase? He always says the commercialization of sport. Lex believes in like the grassroots level of what a sport is, whether that's football, whether that's boxing, whether that's basketball, where he coaches, whatever. And this is part of the problem with the commercialization of sport. And what I mean is the money side of boxing, right? The money side of boxing is in knockouts. And so people think that if they see Tank knock somebody out and they see Shakur outbox someone for 12 rounds, Tank is better than Shakur. That's not how boxing works. Knockouts are one facet of boxing. Facts. And it's probably the most exciting facet of boxing. We had a similar conversation. We go back to the Ronaldo video we did. Scoring goals is one facet of football. It's probably the most exciting facet of football. But in nowhere, no one thinks that Erling Haaland is better than De Bruyne.
Facts.
Because Erling Haaland scores loads of goals, but De Bruyne is clearly a better player. There's we can't just take out something, a tactical foul or the dragging of the shirt or a little foul the ref don't see. All of these minutiae are what makes football football. Facts. And all of the things around boxing, being able to move, I said it already, we saw Caleb Plant moving, but he wasn't moving effectively in my opinion. He wasn't running, he was moving. And Resendez is doing really well to chase him and move around the ring, but there are some people that fight more defensive. There are some people that fight more offensive. It's a free market. I believe in a free market capitalism, and people are going to pay to see what's more exciting. So more people want to pay to see Tank than to see Shakur. I'm not going to argue with you on that. But when we talk about running, not everyone is running. If you are also what I don't like with Showbiz's point is where's the onus on, not with Devin Haney, because I understand the dislike towards Devin Haney's performance because he's one of the top guys in his division. But where's the dislike of Canelo, who is still in some people's top 5 pound for pound, who cannot cut off the ring, holding belts hostage when you've lost the ability to even cut off the ring against
someone who
someone who was getting pieced up by Conor Benn. Do you know what I mean? Like, where's the accountability for the guy that's meant to be at the top? There's a guy at the top of boxing, and there's a guy who's a middling level guy, and you're putting all your focus on the middling level guy instead of putting your focus on the top guy.
Facts.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't get that. And this is the thing why I'm like, when you're looking at what Showbiz is talking about, and he's saying, the no running rule, I have no problem with this as a concept, other than when you start to look at the fundamentals of the sport. And I'm like, at the end of the day, running doesn't make a fight entertaining at all. Like, if someone runs, it's not entertaining. But I feel like the fact that you, Showbiz, have decided to focus more on someone running instead of someone not being able to cut off the ring tells me more about you. It tells me more about you because running is a cultural thing. The reason why I say it's a cultural thing is because how much Mexicans do you know that run away from?
Yeah, their style is very aggressive.
Mexicans have
British
bad
fighters.
feet and they can't cut off the ring most of the time. Some of them do, but most of the time they can't. And what you end up seeing is, what he's basically saying is to create a rule to handicap athletic black fighters and to give a benefit.
You think that's deliberate?
Of course it is, bro. I told you, Showbiz is a man that I would guarantee you that 70 to 80% of his fans by design are not black people, bro.
I didn't know you felt all of this. I was just talking about the no running rule. This is all mad.
No, bro, I genuinely, bro, I can't think of any, and I don't even know why people would watch him in the first place, because he's genuinely he's a pantomime character. He's a gimmick. He's not like, he's got these, he does these interviews on DAZN where he's talking about like this Black Two Sugars thing. It's a flipping gimmick thing, bro. He interviewed Devin, he interviewed Tio, he interviewed Eddie Hearn, he interviewed all of these people, and the interview was shit because every single one of the interviews is who he could suck off better. And the only person he didn't really suck off was really Devin. He kind of gave him a little bit of praise, but for me, that's a waste man thing, because you spent your whole entire campaign. I'd rather you do a Coppinger and say, you know what, just cussing, because that's what you feel. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of why certain people don't like Adi. I don't dislike Adi. I actually think Adi's good at his job. But some people have criticized Adi because he's an industry man. But Showbiz, you have your own platform.
Yeah.
It's your platform, bro. And after a while, I'm going to start to think, no, this is you. This isn't the industry. This is you. You genuinely feel like this. And I feel like he has a cultural bias to Mexican people. And that's basically certain people, not even Mexicans, just people that ain't black. This guy's literally created a rule that goes against black fighters.
Do you think that black fighters are the best people with defensive footwork?
It's a statistical fact, bro. Yeah. It's a statistical fact. If you go in boxing and you look at who had the best feet in boxing, bro, we saw flipping Ali do the rope-a-dope against George Foreman.
Pernell Whitaker.
Pernell Whitaker dance around the ring. But obviously they have great skill. But I've seen people run before. I've seen people literally run in boxing before, bro.
Yeah.
And
this wasn't brought up against them.
This wasn't brought up against them.
Yeah.
It was brought up against Devin. Yeah. It was brought up when Skull done it against Canelo. When it highlights the weaknesses of the fighters that you support, the Mexicans, that's when it's being brought up. I've seen it 100 times.
Devin fighting a Mexican as well?
Yeah. That's my point, bro. He's fighting Jose Ramirez.
He was, yeah.
That's my point, bro. Why are we still talking? My man made a rule, no running. Why are we not doing a no ostery? Ryan Garcia fought on the same day. Why are we not talking about that? Yeah. Why are we? Remember that fight was a month ago. You know, we're still talking about that, bro. Yeah. Why? Because, bro, I'm telling you, there's a lot of black people that don't like being black. You know, I'm telling you, bro. There's a lot of black people that wish that they weren't black, and I guarantee you, Showbiz is on the front of that list. This guy's praying in his next life he's a Mexican, bro. His name's Espinoza or something like that. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
I didn't know you had all these. Bro, I'm sorry I brought this up now. Bloody hell.
Bro, firstly, yeah, you know I'm a big Devin Haney fan.
Here we go. Here we go.
No, but it's I'm a big Devin.
Did he run?
Who? In that fight?
Yeah,
of course.
Okay.
He ran in that fight.
Okay.
But I don't mind you creating this rule, but it's the timing of it, bro. It's literally, man's all gone to the point of getting a petition, blood. You guys get what I'm saying, fam. Man, getting people signing a petition. Yeah. Why don't we this is what you should do, Showbiz. Get people to sign a petition to get Canelo to do some road work, because this guy can't cut off the ring against nobody.
The reality is, specifically in the Skull versus Canelo fight, anyone that fights Canelo knows that he doesn't run anymore and he can't cut off the ring. He's got no legs. His legs are completely gone.
This guy's Oscar Pistorius.
Everybody is going to move against him. Now, how much you move and how much you engage, Bivol moved less and engaged a bit more because he's bigger, he's stronger, he's able to do that. William Skull obviously moved more. But that's going to be the game plan regardless. How do you police this rule? What constitutes running? What constitutes... Do you know what I mean? Like, how much...
But
do you know what I
I'm
mean?
still saying, why are you creating a rule that enables inadequate ability?
Yeah.
If you cannot cut off the ring, I am not going to...
You might as well go and watch that, you know, the slap thing. Yeah, you might as well go watch the slap thing. Then it's a straight, who can slap harder, me or you?
Because I'll give you an example.
Or the punch machine. Who hasn't watched the punch machine?
One of my favourite fighters, and one of your favourite fighters, Arthur Beterbiev.
Yeah. We
did not create a no running rule or an 8x8 ring for Beterbiev versus Bivol, because we saw the great art of aggression versus the great art of defense and boxing off the back foot.
Yep.
Sometimes Bivol fought off the front foot, so I'm not saying Bivol ran. But we didn't have to create a rule for that because Beterbiev was good enough, even though he's older than Canelo, he's good enough to cut off the ring. Yeah. He's fighting a more elite fighter in Bivol and he can cut off the ring. Yeah. You're fighting Skull, bro. This guy got stopped in sparring by Canelo.
Crawford's older than Canelo.
Exactly, bro. Why are we making rules for you?
Usyk's older than Canelo.
Usyk's older than Canelo, bro. So, bro, why am I making a rule for you?
Yeah.
Oh, just to make Canelo's career last longer.
Yeah.
Bro, come off it, bro. You're a waste, man, bro.
Anthony Joshua boxed on the outside against Andy Ruiz for 12 rounds. Didn't want to engage, just outboxed him.
Outboxed him off the back foot. I've seen it 100 times, bro. I've seen it 100 times. It's the timing of it because it doesn't benefit the Mexican fighters that he likes, bro. And I've seen this guy full on go on his knees for Canelo, bro. I've literally seen it on a Bonnie Blue setting, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm literally telling you. I've seen. That's when I got
me looking at him differently now, man.
I
hate to see my fellow black man like that, man.
Bro, he don't want to be black, so it's fine. Bro, this guy, bro, he doesn't. Remember when Django, says, I advise all you black folk to get away with all you white folk, and the black women ran
get away from them,
and he says, no, you, Stephen, not you. You're right where you're supposed to be. Yeah. That's showbiz, bro.
And there's the white woman, he says to the slave woman, he says, Miss Sarah, say goodbye to Miss Sarah. And then she's bang. Yeah, boy. Damn. Stephen Showbiz, you know. Literally. It's a mad thing, man. It's mad, man. I hate to see my people like this, but yeah.
Bro, man said black 2 sugars, fam. That is, bro. Where's the black, fam? This is cream with 2 sugars, fam.
That's mad.
Bounty, bro.
Little rant from me. We had a rant from Shane. Little rant from me. I'm feeling very unwell, so the rant isn't going to be mad energetic. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why I got my John Lennon sunglasses on. But Arsenal, bruv. We're only 4 days into the window, to be fair. But we heard that it was either Gyökeres or Squeo. Okay, wait. Let me start again. We've come second 3 times. This is why some fans are leaning towards Arteta out. Not right now, but this is why it's his last chance. Okay, we have come second 3 times in the Premier League. In the Premier League, we should be one of the top teams that a player, an up and coming, exciting young player, wants to play for. We've got a young manager, an exciting young team. We had that legendary night against Real Madrid. Obviously, we didn't get past PSG. PSG went on to win it in the end. In the Champions League, we slapped Man City 5-1. Champions League football, all of this kind of stuff. We should be one of the most... Then we've got Berta coming, experienced sporting director. Someone that, again, should be able to come and get deals over the line. We've heard that there's Gyökeres, we've heard that there's Squeo. They're having a conversation about who's who. That one might take a little bit of time to get over the line, but we need an attacker. We need it quickly. Fine. Then you've got Zubimendi. Zubimendi was meant to be done. Have you heard Zubimendi quotes today?
Yeah.
About Real Madrid?
Yeah.
But this deal was supposed to be done.
Facts.
This was supposed to be done already.
And also you have to look at the fact that went in for Mbeumo and he chose United over Arsenal.
I don't know if we did.
Apparently,
there was talk that we were definitely... The thing is, the only reason I say I don't know if we did, we were definitely interested in him, but we take so long to get in a player, to get into the room to have a conversation, that it's not like we submitted a bid and he picked you over us. Facts. We just don't submit bids. And what's happening, do you know what Arsenal is like? It's like you're chatting to a girl. It's like man that chat to a girl, but have no understanding that girl is chatting to other men at the same time.
Facts.
Arsenal's the only club that will talk to a player and say, listen, we'll pay you 100 grand a week, 5 years. The player goes, yeah, that sounds great. And they go, cool. We'll leave the bid till later because it's cool. That player's talking to other people. You guys just got Cunha and Mbeumo. Slap them deals up so other people can't take him.
Literally.
Back in the day, we see Manchester United or Chelsea's do it all the time, signing players so someone else can't sign them.
Facts.
Get it done. Get the deal done. Do you know what I'm saying? Like all these people we're hiring, we're supposed to be hiring people to make these deals happen quicker and easier.
If we keep it real, some of those deals actually worked out in your favour. But you think about it, Bruno was a person that you wanted to get. Zlatan, Ronaldo. You think about who the other day who went to Chelsea.
Do it. No. Who? Mudryk? Yeah.
He was supposed to go to Martinez. Our Martinez, some of those plays didn't work out, but 9 times out of 10, you lot are getting beaten to the punch.
Yeah.
Because of...
And then we're going for... When was the last... Someone posted a picture of Gabriel Jesus 3 years ago was the last time we had an attacker that we wanted and we got.
Facts.
And that's because he had a relationship with Arteta. Now there's talk of Sane. I don't want Sane to be another Sterling. I don't know what his conditions like. I don't watch Bundesliga.
But what happened to Rodrigo?
Do you know what I mean? But there was talk of Rodrigo. There was talk of Nico Williams.
You know,
there's talk of like
the
I don't
gal comparison is a
it.
good one. Still, it's literally like you man are just drawing bare
if I'm beating a ting, if there's a ting I'm chatting to, I'm dealing with, I'm beating every now and again, whatever, yeah. And then I ain't spoke to her for like 2 months. Do I think she ain't beat something else in the last 2 months?
No, but it's worse, bro. It's worse. Because for me, I'm like, how long do you chat to a gal before you try and beat it, bro? Or are we doing 6 months without pum pum, bro?
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, these men are just talking, fam.
Yeah.
In talks.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's a good point. You ain't even beat the gal. You're chatting to the gal for 3 months. And in the 3 months that you've been chatting to her, wooing her, sending her flowers, buying her Uber Eats and all that, you think she ain't getting thumped by someone else?
Literally.
You're mad.
Literally, blood.
Now, if you thump it, she might stick with you. But if you ain't thumping it, someone's thumping it.
Facts,
You've got to know
bro.
that.
Literally.
You've got to know that. And then man acts surprised when they find out someone else is thumping it. Come on, man. What's taking so long? Joan Garcia was a backup goalkeeper.
Yeah,
we didn't get him. We wanted to pay 20. They wanted 25. Some of them I get. The thing is, people think we're not patient. We are. We didn't get the goalkeeper. Fine. We said, you know what? We understand. A striker is our priority. So we're not going to prioritize the goalkeeper. We've got a goalkeeper, whatever. This motherfucker wants to buy a new goalkeeper every year. Every year he wants to buy a new goalkeeper. He's bought a goalkeeper every year, bruv. Sometimes more than one.
But
he's been there for 5 years. We've had Matt Turner, Rannerson,
Odegaard, Ramsdale,
and Raya. And obviously he bought through Martinez when Leno got injured. Yeah. So I'm sure there's more. Matt Ryan. That's 5 goalkeepers in 5 years. Neto, that's 6.
Yeah, I forgot about Neto as well.
He's bought 6 goalkeepers in 5 years. What are we doing? What are we? We've bought 1 number 9. I know Havertz plays up top. We bought 1 number 9 and 6 goalkeepers.
Literally.
Are we high? What the fuck is going on?
And
David Raya has won Golden Glove back to back. I know that's part of defence, not just the goalkeeper, but he's been a brilliant goalkeeper for us.
Facts.
And they're looking at potentially bringing another goalkeeper. What are we doing?
I feel like you mentioned patience, but I do feel like this is the season you can't afford to be
There's no patience.
Because there's not enough world-class strikers out there anyway.
No.
I know I said Gyökeres might have been a gamble, but he's a striker. Right now, you can't
if we
wait,
get Gyökeres, I'm chatting to my boy about this every day. If we get Gyökeres, cool. I think Gyökeres is a sign-in for last summer. I don't actually think he's what we need this summer. Classic Arsenal fashion, yeah? When we were playing super creative football, when we had Smith Rowe and Ødegaard and whatever, and they were all cooking, whatever, that would have been the perfect time for Gyökeres. Just feed him, and he's just going to get goal after goal after goal. We were really creative. Now we're struggling for creativity a little bit more. We need a more attacking midfielder. We need a winger, etc. Maybe Šeško suits. For now, he's a little bit more versatile. What I saw against PSG is the front three is all moving it, interchanging. That's what we can do with Šeško. I actually don't care. Just sign one of these, man. Just sign someone. Man United used to do these PR signings just to appease the fans. Do you know what I'm saying? As soon Van der Beek or Odion and Garlo and these type of men, like they know, like, okay, cool, our fans are not happy right now. We need to throw them something. We need to throw them a bone. All our team does is Black Lives Matter and Africa kits. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And jerk chicken at the Emirates and that. That's all we do. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm done with jerk chicken, bro. I've eaten all the jerk chicken. Do you know what I'm saying? I bought all the kits. I bought all the kits, all the jerk chicken, I've taken in
the no red.
Yeah, the no more red kit, the little ice cream kit. Bro, I've done it all, bro. Where's my players at, bro?
Trust me.
Where's my players at? Like, I at least want to see. All I'm seeing is players leaving. Then Kieran Tierney's gone. Jorginho's gone. Yeah. We also thought Trossard or Martinelli.
Sterling's gone back to Chelsea.
I'm not talking about him. Then it was either Trossard or Martinelli was.
Go on.
Either Trossard or Martinelli was going to go, and Trossard apparently signed a new deal. What are we doing?
Maybe you might start up front for you next season.
The man are talking about wages. Bro, I'm typing into my thing, WhatsApp, and I flipping typed wages because I'm raging so much, yeah? Because I had a little breakdown that I sent to Ricky about the wages that we should be able to save. We should have been able to save about £800,000 a week of wages with all the players that I thought were leaving. But a lot of these men ain't even going to leave. Like, man are just overstaying their welcome like a gal that's not invited here. Like, I've got it here.
Like
Jorginho, 110. This is what these are players I would like to see go. Jorginho, 110. Yeah. Jesus is on 265. Reece Nelson on 88. Kieran Tierney on 100. Zinchenko, we've got 4 left backs. Zinchenko on 150. And Trossard on 90. All of them, forget about the money that we reinvest in the squad. All of them, that's £803,000 a week.
Mad, isn't it?
The man are saying, oh, we can't get Nico Williams because of the wages. The wages? The wages? Do you know what I'm saying? What are we talking about?
Trust me.
We're supposed to be a club that people want to come to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. I see if Liverpool or Man City go for you, you might choose them over us. Do you mean? Depending on the kind of player, maybe there's a Newcastle, maybe there's a Villa, but we should be one of the top clubs that you want to go to. Why are we not getting these deals done? What's the reason? What's the excuse? Do you know what I mean? Cardi B, what is the reason? What's the reason, bruv? Do you know what I mean? It don't make no sense to me.
Facts.
It's not on. Like, man's losing patience, bruv. Because if it comes to the window, if it comes to the beginning of the season and we ain't got our players, heads have to roll, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Because this is part of Arteta's job. Like, on the pitch, Arteta's coaching and whatever, cool, we can have a conversation about that. But this stuff here is where he fails as a manager. This is part of your job as well.
The way you lot have needed a striker, I was expecting you not to buy a striker the first day of the transfer window.
We could do 2 strikers.
Facts.
Do you know what I'm saying? Some people are saying, well, why don't we... Obviously, we're Arsenal, so we know it's not going to happen. But if we were a City, we'd get both. City spent 200 million, both Sesco and Gyökeres. City spent 200 million in January. They're going to spend another 200 million now.
Facts. I remember when Pep first came in, my man bought 4 fullbacks for 50 M's. Remember? Yeah. Mad.
So yeah, it's looking scary. Obviously, we could pull stuff off. It's early in the window. Don't get me wrong, but when the Zubimendi deal was apparently said to have happened, Arsenal fans were like, "Oh, this seems like it's happened quite early." Like, even getting Partey's deal done. Jorginho's leaving. You put Partey to the bench, extend him for 1 year, bring Zubimendi in. Done. We're paying his release clause for Zubimendi, so it's not even a complicated deal. His release clause is getting paid. Every player in the league has a release clause. Thomas Partey's been here for 6 or 7 years, so he's just going to extend for 1 year, no problem. Now there's talk, Thomas Partey might be going to Barcelona. Bro, what are we doing? What are we doing? I want to see what's going on in these meetings. These aren't even the glamour deals. The glamour, sexy Gyökeres, Sesco deals, I understand, could be, they're exciting, they're big. These are like basic, boring. These are players we're not even excited about.
Literally,
half the Arsenal fans don't even want Partey there. Do you know what I mean? With all his allegations and that, like, do you know what I mean? These are the basic deals that we're not even getting done. If we can't get the basics done of Partey contract extension and Zubimendi release clause, then why should I feel confident we can get a Sesco or we can get a Gyökeres or we can get a Rodrigo?
You can't.
We can't.
You can't. Boy, I'll let you rant, innit?
Anyway, we're going to be live all weekend for the boxing. Fabio Wardley versus Justis Huni, Jai Opetaia, Keyshawn Davis. 3 fights that we should see stoppages and knockouts in. Yeah. We're going to try and time it right to be on time to go live for the good. Because these fights actually, I don't know about Jai Opetaia, but the other fights have good, decent cards that I want to cover a decent amount of the card.
I mean, Dylan White.
Does Dylan White have an opponent yet? Because he's fighting on Saturday. We still don't know who he's fighting.
I don't even know who he's fighting. I still don't know. Dylan White's on the card, so I definitely want to catch that.
He's going to be fighting some security guard. How can you not have the opponent on a Wednesday?
I think they do. But I just don't know who it is.
Okay.
And then
Santos. Davis.
Keyshawn Davis versus De La Santos. Abdullah Mason.
Yes,
is
of
on
course.
The undercard.
Yeah.
Who's in the comment section always talking about Abdullah Mason?
I'm terrible. I can't remember. He's from Ohio, isn't he?
Yeah. One of you guys are you always talking about Abdullah Mason. He's on the undercard, so that'd be a good fight to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Jai Opetaia card though. I don't think.
Yeah, we're probably not going to know anyone on that card, but yeah. So yeah, should be an exciting weekend of boxing. So make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. We're out. Peace.
After the scene.